other side of town, Shohei Ohtani and the mystery of his arm, at least getting some answers from Nez Bolello. So why don't you take us through it, and that's his agent, what you thought of the comments from his representation in terms of what to expect from Shohei going forward, like his free agency and next year. What's he going to do? It sounds like we're going to get some answers soon.
Maybe soon. We didn't get many answers last night. But what Nez wanted to convey, I think, most of all, other than to thank people for sending well wishes, was that Shohei fully plans to compete as a two-way player going forward, and he plans to be in somebody's lineup on opening day next year. So whatever you've heard about, maybe Shohei should take some time off and maybe not hit and he can get back as a two-way player faster next year, that's not going to happen. Is Shohei determined to play next year from opening day? That's what they want to do, at least as a hitter, no matter what happens with the elbow. But that would be a pretty aggressive timetable, because when Shohei had Tommy John surgery last time with the Angels, he had the surgery at the start of October, and he was not ready for opening day as a hitter. So we will see. There's still a month left to go in September. And frankly, the issue could resolve itself, because while Nez Bolello was talking last night underneath the stadium in a suite, Shohei was out on the field taking batting practice, hurt his oblique, was scratched from the lineup. He's getting tests today. And, you know, as you guys know, obliques can be fairly prickly injuries. They often take about a month to heal. If this is on the prickly side, like I said, the issue might just resolve itself right there.
So because the agent came out and actually said something, we feel like we have information, but just because he never said anything and now he said some words, I still feel like we're in the dark listening to his interview. Was there any like back and forth as far as it seemed like he was like hinting on, well, there'd be some type of procedure, but it's not as bad. Was he giving us information, or was he kind of just being as vague as he could possibly be?
The specific point that I thought was newsworthy was he said the repair from last time, the first time Tommy John surgery, that's held up fine. That's intact. I don't want to say less severe, but we're not starting from scratch. So the impression Nez wanted to convey was the ligament is intact and the tear is lower down. It doesn't seem to be as serious an issue. He called it, as you pointed out right there on the screen, thank you, a best case scenario. Having said that, he just talked about some kind of procedure. He didn't say what kind of surgery. He didn't even specify or confirm surgery at all. That seems a likely result, but at least according to Nez, they're still talking to various doctors and trying to consider their options. And, you know, I think on the outside, people think, look, if your priority really is opening day next year, then the sooner the better to get done whatever it is that you need to get done. But any team signing him, assuming they're interested in a long-term contract, which probably they are, maybe it's not worrying about opening day next year so much as having him ready as much as possible for 5, 6, 7, 8 years.
Bill, this seems like total hype train to me by his agent. This seems like he is prepping for a huge contract, and he doesn't want anybody until the last minute to see the medicals and actually do their homework. He is just prepping the hype train and getting it ready for this offseason. Oh, he's going to be ready for opening day. And he doesn't have the – but if you talk to other people, not his agent, they're like, just because it's not in the same spot doesn't mean he doesn't need Tommy John again. So this is just, to me, is Nez saying, hype train, give me all the money, and we'll figure it out from there. He's still going to pitch. I don't know. It just seems like an agent doing PR spin like no other.
Well, and you're 100% right. All we have to do is look back at what happened to Carlos Correa last winter. You can ask for whatever you want, but if a team finds a problem with the medicals, then that's not going to resolve itself the way you hope. So we'll have to see what is actually done in terms of a corrective procedure. And then, as you mentioned, at that point, the results will be available to all the teams that are interested. And look, you never can rule out the possibility. I don't think this will happen. There's a possibility you take a short-term contract, do your rehab, and then come back, show everybody he can play two ways and make more money. I don't know that that is his best option. I don't know that he's going to be ever more marketable as he is now, because even if he doesn't pitch again, which he will at some point, he's still a pretty darn good hitter.
We have this video of Shohei hurting himself on, well, what we think he hurt himself on that swing. Has Shohei been like kind of, because I know when he went into New York, he was taking BP on the field. Has he kind of been testing other waters? Because normally he was never out on the field. Is this a new thing that he's actually out on the field hitting, or is he like trying to like pander himself to different teams and look like, oh, I am more of an amicable player than just I recluse myself and I don't talk to the media ever?
No, the only places that we're aware of that he's taken batting practice on the field this year outside Anaheim was Dodger Stadium and Yankee Stadium. But yesterday he decided to take batting practice on the field in Anaheim because you'd have to ask him, and we can't. But at the time, nobody was watching because all the media was in talking to his agent. And somebody, not all the media, I guess, because somebody got the video, as you mentioned, of him yanking and pulling the oblique and then leaving the field.
Interesting.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Do you really think he's
how a guy can go through his whole career and never talk to the media ever? I know he doesn't.
He doesn't even want to hit at BP for the media. Bill just said he's like, oh, they're gone. Bill, do you really think like in his mind he's like, all right, this is my chance. Media's not out here. Like I don't get the impression that he doesn't like the media or he's mean to the media. More just like doesn't want to speak to them and is not really into it. You know what I'm saying? Like we're about to get to Anthony Rendon. That is a very different case.